Why are my eyes so puffy? That's what a patient asked me today because she did not know that thyroid problems could affect her skin. Hey, everybody, I'm Dana Gibbs. I'm an integrative physician and Hashimoto's specialist here in North Texas, and I run a mostly virtual practice where I help people address their thyroid imbalances and other hormone imbalances. And today I want to talk about a thyroid symptom that not that many people are familiar with. It used to be called myxedema. So, what is that? Keep listening and you'll find out in a sec. And you probably know somebody who has this because it isn't really rare. So, if you're listening to this and you're not a physician, please keep in mind scientific proof is not nearly as black and white as people think. And in order to make treatment decisions for individuals, sometimes we have to consider evidence that's not nearly as absolute as we'd like. So, this is not meant to be medical advice, and you should consult your own physician for any medical issues or diagnosis you might have. So, everyone probably knows that low thyroid can cause weight gain, fatigue, hair loss, and many other symptoms. Even skin symptoms like dry skin, you probably heard of that. Also, the loss of the ability to sweat and itching. But there's another common symptom of hypothyroidism that doesn't get very much airplay. But when I see a patient with this, it's almost immediately recognizable as a thyroid problem. So let me explain that because it isn't terribly obvious. So I'm talking about myxedema. Um, and the short version of what myxedema is the deposition of polysaccharides or a certain kind of sugar molecule under your skin. Polysaccharides examples are something called, for example, hyaluronic acid. You might have heard of that because um, people put it on their skin and they inject it into their skin to plump up their wrinkles. Anyway, hyaluronic acid is one of a class of molecules called glycans, and they will deposit in your skin. And when they do, they cause an influx of fluid and edema to those tissues because they absorb like 1,000 times their dry weight in water weight. So if it deposits in your ankles or in your forearms or your wrists, it'll cause them to be thick and puffy. And unlike the kind of swelling that you get if you eat too much salt, the skin doesn't compress or indent um, like that other kind of swelling. Um, and the most obvious manifestation of myxedema is thick wrists and thick ankles. Um, and when I examine a patient that I think has low thyroid function, it's usually pretty obvious, but it can cause a few other ones as well. Puffiness around your face and around your eyes. So, right underneath here. So, you not only feel tired when you have hypothyroidism, you can look tired too. And it can cause your eyelids to droop down. Um, it also causes your complexion to be pale because there's less blood flow through that swollen tissue because the water weight is squeezing the blood vessels. Here's another one, hoarseness, because the substance can build up in and around your vocal cords, making them thick. It can also build up in the walls of your throat, making your voice slurred and rough. Um, Here's another one, carpal tunnel syndrome. That same buildup of fluid in the tunnels that your nerves run through to your hands um, can cause pressure on those nerves and cause tingling and numbness and loss of strength. Another one is something called adhesive capsulitis. So an example of adhesive capsulitis is frozen shoulder because these glycosaminoglycan molecules are sticky. And so if they get into your joints, they can cause the joints to freeze up. And because there are fibroblasts in your joint, especially if it gets injured, the fibroblasts are what secrete those glycans. And shoulder is just one example. You can have it in your ankle, you can have it in other joints. And so that can be a big problem. Here's another one, muscle aches and pains. So impeded blood flow to muscles and pinched nerves because of the squeezing um, characteristic of this water influx into the tissue can pinch nerves and cause trigger points that can lead to chronic tension headaches. Okay, so I'm not going to bore you with the science definition of myxedema, but this is basically it. It's these fibrous connective tissues that secrete these molecules called mucopolysaccharides that suck up a huge amount of water and basically swell up the tissue. Um, and it produces this non-pitting boggy edema, particularly around your eyes, hands, feet, and here's another place in the supraclavicular fossa, which is the little triangle above your collarbone. It can make it look like you even have something in there, like a tumor. I've seen that before. It can also be responsible for making your tongue thick, which is commonly seen in low thyroid. So why does this happen? Well, it's not really fully understood, but there's a couple of theories. And one of them is that fibroblasts, which are the cells that cause scar tissue to grow, are stimulated by the thyroid stimulating hormone, which goes high in somebody with low thyroid. And those fibroblasts secrete these molecules that I've been talking about, which results in this osmotic edema. And it's thought that many of the cells that are responsible for making connective tissue react to increases in TSH levels. And then here's another weird thing, because in addition to this, you can have increased keratin deposition in some of your skin tissue, like your palms or your soles or the sides of your nose. These are called nasolabial folds. It can turn them yellow or orange. Here's the good news. If you have these symptoms and you suspect that it could be your thyroid, you don't have to just suffer with these. All of these symptoms will slowly resolve with correct and balanced thyroid replacement. All right, guys, that's it for now. I am Dana Gibbs. I am a thyroid specialist here in North Texas. And if you are a thyroid or chronic fatigue sufferer here in North Texas and you want a caring doctor to help you resolve your exhaustion, your muscle aches, your sleep problems, and your weight gain, come and check out my website at danagibbsmd.com. And I have new patient spots available very soon. So y'all take care and have a great evening. Bye-bye now.